Good morning. My name is Jurgen Siar, and all of you can call me Jurgen. And in this occasion, I would like to present to you about tourism attraction in United States of America. So without any further ado, let's start with the first one. The first one is Hollywood Sign. Hollywood Sign is one of the world's most famous landmarks and a cultural icon overlooking Hollywood. Hollywood is spelled out in 45-foot tall white capital letters and is 352 feet long. The sign was created in 1923 as an advertisement for a local real estate agency, and it initially read Hollywoodland. Due to recognition, the sign was left up in its current form instead of being taken down. You can drive near the sign or simply hike to this famous landmark. Next is Hollywood Walk of Fame. Hollywood Walk of Fame features over 2,600 stars embedded in the sidewalks along Hollywood Boulevard and Vine Street. The stars are permanent public monument to achievement in the entertainment industry, bearing the names of actors, directors, musicians, producers, and fictional characters and the others. Do not forget to look for the famous Chinese theaters featuring handprints, footprints, and signatures of some of the Hollywood biggest stars. Next is Venice Beach. Venice is a residential, commercial, and recreational beachfront neighborhood. It was founded in 1905 as a seaside resort town. Over the year, it transformed into a free-spirited boardwalk and residential area full of funky shops, imaginative street performers, and public art. Rent a scooter or a bike and ride along the Venice beach, play some sport in one of many public sports areas, or simply sit in the sand, watch the waves, and enjoy the vibe. If you have if you have time, also visit the Venice canals nearby. The canals were created in the early 19th to mimic the famous canals in Venice, Italy. Okay, after the third before is from Los Angeles, California. Next we go to New York City. The first one from New York City is Times Square. Times Square is one of the busiest pedestrian areas in the world. Located in the heart of Manhattan, it is famous for its enormous electrified ads creating a surreal neon atmosphere, as well as famous theaters, shopping, and dining. It attracts over 50 million visitors every year. Times Square got its name from the New York Times Tower, headquarters of the New York Times newspaper, built in 1904. When the when the area became the epicenter of New York's social elite, 1904 was also the year when first electrified ads appeared in the square. Um, Times Square is also the center of New York's entertainment industry with its Broadway theater district and the venue of New Year's Eve Ballroom, which is probably one of the most famous New Year's Eve celebrations in the world. Every night at exactly 11:57 p.m., the screen on Times Square transformed into a 3-minute art show. Next is Statue of Liberty. Liberty Unleashing the World, or what we know today simply as the Statue of Liberty, is a 151 feet tall statue located on the Liberty Island in the New York Harbor. The statue was a gift of friendship from the people of the United States in to the United States in 1886 and represents a figure of Libertas, a Roman liberty goddess holding a torch in her right hand and a tablet with the date of US of U.S. Declaration of Independence, July 4, 1776, in her left hand. The statue is recognized as a universal symbol of freedom and democracy. The Liberty Island now also houses a new Statue of Liberty museum where the original torch is displayed. Next is Mount Rushmore. Perhaps the most unmistakably American landmark is Mount Rushmore, a national memorial located in South Dakota, constructed in the early 20th century. Mount Rushmore depicts the face of four former American presidents, each of which is carved and blessed from the side of a rock face. Visitors can admire the larger-than-life faces of Thomas Jefferson, George Washington, Abraham Lincoln, and Theodore Roosevelt. The short presidential trail at the base of Mount Rushmore provides better views and an interesting perspective on the landmark. Next is Great Smoky Mountains National Park. Straddling the border between Tennessee and North Carolina is the Great Smoky Mountains National Park. The park is the park is the most visited in the entire country, thanks in large part to its enormous size and its incredible scenery. Visitors can hike through old-growth forests, spot hundreds of species of birds, and check out the two visitor centers. Hikes can also wind through trails that lead to the waterfalls of Laurel Falls and the visitors of Clingman's Domes. Uh, Next is Niagara Falls. Situated between the state of New York and the province of Ontario, Niagara Falls is one of the most spectacular natural wonders on the North American continent. Niagara Falls is actually three different falls: the American Falls, Bridal Veil Falls, and Horseshoe Falls. Horseshoe Falls is located on the Canadian side, while the other are located in New York. With more than 14 million visitors each year, it is one of the most visited tourist attractions in the world. Next is Yellowstone National Park. The Yellowstone National Park was the world's first national park set aside in 1872 to preserve the vast number of geysers, hot springs, and other thermal areas, as well as to protect the incredible wildlife and rugged beauty of the area. Yellowstone lies on top of a gigantic hotspot where hot molten mantle rock rises towards the surface. Subsequently, the park contains half of all the world's known geothermal features, with more than 10,000 examples of geysers and hot springs. In addition, black bears, grizzly bears, deer, elk, bison, and wolves can all be found within the park borders. Next is Grand Canyon. The Grand Canyon is located in northern Arizona and is one of the great tourist attractions in the United States. Carved over several million years by the Colorado River, the canyon attains a depth of over 1.6 km and 446 km long. Um, the Grand Canyon is not the deepest or the longest canyon in the world, but the overwhelming size and its intricate and colorful landscape over spectacular visitors that are unmatched throughout the world. Next is Las Vegas Strip, the gambling mecca of the world. Las Vegas is situated in the midst of southern Nevada desert landscape. Casinos can be found throughout Las Vegas, but the strip, a stretch of Las Vegas Boulevard South, contains the most of them. It features giant mega casino hotels, decorated with lavish care and attention to detail to create a fantasy-like atmosphere. The casinos often have names and the themes that evoke romance, mystery, and faraway destination. So that's all from me. Thank you for all of thank you for all of your attention. Thank you.